What is up, guys, and welcome to a new kind of video. So, for a while, the reason why I was away from YouTube for a long period of time is I spent a long time trying to learn how to make video games, and I learned a lot, but I've come to realize my creativity by itself is just not good enough to make a video game. I would love to partner with somebody, with a team of people to make a video game, because there's a lot of tools I was learning how to use that I'd really like to use, and I would like to work with someone whose understanding of these programs is a lot better than mine. They can not only teach me more about it, but someone I can work with. But anyway, the programs I messed with were like Unreal Engine and a bunch of like various different programs, Blender, 2D animation softwares. I messed with a whole bunch of stuff because after I gave up on trying to make a video game, I spent like 6 months just trying to make the tiniest bit of progress, and I couldn't make any. Couldn't even get a character to properly couldn't For one, I couldn't create a good 3D model. Everything I made looked very poorly built, and no matter what I tried, no matter how long I spent on it, it just didn't look good. And then when I got a model that I thought looked decent, I would try to animate them, and I could never get their bones to function properly. But anyway, so it got me to thinking, I want to go back to YouTube because this is something I feel more comfortable doing. But I'm coming to realize that people are not enjoying Let's Plays anymore. The percentage of people who watch Let's Plays on YouTube is so low. So I decided, why don't we mess around with some AI stuff? One of the things that got me thinking was, how good are AI now? I mean, you'd expect a good AI to be able to basically do anything with a computer, right? Software wise. So, would it not be within reason that an AI should be able to make a video game? Well, I decided to look this up. AI for making video games. And the first thing that pops up is a Reddit page. We're not going to click on that because I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But there's a bunch of programs that automatically get popped up as soon as you do pull it up. We got Ludio.ai, create hit games with the power of AI. Assist your team in expanding ideas, creating new characters, mechanics, stories, and more in minutes. There's a lot of things I'd like to mess around with this. Number one is creating a character based off a prompt. But it feels like no matter what your prompt is, they never create a character that's close enough. You know what I mean? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and click here on Ludio.ai. All right. Try for free. Let's check this out. I guess I should have read that first. Okay, it wants me to sign in. 1 second. Here we go. Let's see here. I've got like 10 credits for this program, so I'm definitely not going to be making a game with this, but let's see what it's got. 3D asset generator. That's kind of cool. Come with a new battle royale game twist. How about a game where the map is a giant chessboard and players are chess pieces? See, that would be kind of cool. There's a lot of game ideas where this could help. Um, let's see here. Market trends. I don't really care about that, to be honest. Image generator, game tour. Idea tour. Okay. Game concepts. I'm guessing this is where we can go check out various game concepts that we could build from. Top charts of Blender, market analysis, and just random searching. Starting from scratch, cool. Import a game idea. What kind of file is a game idea? Don't know. We should be on the desktop version. I don't know why. Oh, for desktop or mobile. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I've only got 10 credits. It's probably not going to buy much for me. Wonder how much these credits are. Holy crap. It's a monthly subscription. Oh, and they have a pay-as-you-go option. Individuals looking to experiment with game ideas and research. You get 50 credits, so it's $1 is 5 credits then. Yeah, so $1 is 5 credits. Okay, and how much does 1 credit get you? Let's see. The chat assistant. Does it cost me credits to ask a question? We're going to try tapping something in here. One second. Okay, so I gave it a prompt. I might have tapped out too much, but we're going to see how it does. This is called the chat assistant. Let's see what it says. Okay, so it's wanting to know how. I gotta basically tell this thing how the game works. So I'm gonna answer a few of its questions, and I'll show you the responses. All right, I told it each environment has its own typing. You know, pyro mountain plains. They get a power attack and defense, and they get really receive an additional movement space. And the goal of the game is to reduce the life points of the opponents down to 0. And they responded with, okay, I'm trying to get a clear picture so the environment types act like terrain modifiers, boosting monsters that match the terrain. This adds a tactical layer to positioning and movement. This objective is classic, reduce the opponent's life points to 0. Here's what I have so far. Grid-based gameplay takes place on a grid. Environment types, pirates, mountains, plains, etc. Terrain advantage, monsters gain 500 points in attack and defense if their types match the terrain they occupy. They also gain extra movement in that terrain, yep. Card types, players use various Yu-Gi-Oh! Inspired cards, monster spells, traps, etc. as game pieces. Objective, reduce the opponent's life points down to 0. Yeah, that's pretty much summarizing up the game pretty well. The AIs are obviously very smart. Like, can you elaborate on the different types of, besides monsters, what types of spells, traps, or other card types do you envision? So it's feeling like this is just going to help me like plan a game, which I think is really cool. It hasn't charged me anything, so it looks like this feature is 100% free as far as I can tell, or maybe there's a time limit, kind of like Chat GPT with the without paying or whatever. So let's try out something else. All right, so this is called the game ideator. Generate game ideas based on your own words or other games. Okay, regular mode generates based on your inputs only, combines your inputs with random trending games, combines your inputs with random out-of-the-box concepts. Okay. Well, let's build off of the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels of the Roses game. And let's go, I want to design a bunch of original monster cards for a digital monster card game. I'd like the cards based off of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll put Duels to the Roses anyway. But with different typings and stats. Let's try that. I did not click on that. What was that? Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I generated a game idea, and that cost me 1 credit to do. Okay. And I want to design a bunch of original monster cards for a digital monster card game. I'd like the cards based off of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels to Roses, but with different typings and stats. I mean, this is cool. Witcher crossplay, crosshairs of Destiny, become a Witcher enhanced cybernetic augmentation, custom design crosshairs. That has nothing to do with what I said. Tactical heist, medieval helldivers. These are none of the games that I was trying to develop here. Wow, that was completely off base. Okay, well, this is not what I thought it was. Let's just go off my inputs only and do it one more time. See what it does then. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything better on this. A Grimoire's Curse, like, this has nothing to do with the inputs that I put in. So we're gonna try something else. 3D asset generator. Okay. Huh. Let's go back over here. I'm going to copy this right here. Just going to copy it. I'm going to go over here. Yeah, 3D asset generator. Let's see what it can do with that same input. Actually, you know what? We could probably get an asset image. Give me just a second. Alright, I got a image of a Blue Eyes Ultimate White Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not specifically from that game. I know it's in the game, so let's see what it gets. What? Ludio suggestion. I'm not taking your suggestion. Start a new generation. Let's see what happens. What am I looking at here? It went too like based off of that card. I mean, I'm glad it came up with an actual card, but 50,000 and it says type down here. Like what? It just copied a lot of assets from that. I mean, it created its own unique dragon in it, which I'm kind of impressed with that. But the tri-eyed Trian. I mean, it would be a good concept to build off of, but if that uses a whole credit just to make that one image, good God, I'd be screwed. I'd have to buy a crap load. Like, let's say I wanted to create a 500 cards. If it only made one card at a time, that's 500 credits. 500 credits is divided by 5, $100 just to make the cards. Jesus. I mean, I'm sure it'd be more expensive to hire somebody to actually create them for you, but still. Huh. I don't know. I'm not seeing much in this I really care for. Let's try one more. Let's see how the image itself does. Let's see how we can do just an image. Copy, image generator, pop it here, enter, enter, that. We're not adding an image this time. Let's just see what it can do. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is better. See, this generated what? That's 12 cards for 1 credit. Now that's a better deal. Now I'd have to turn this into 3D assets, which arguably wouldn't be too hard. And if I change the input, I could probably get it to see if it looked different. So this is the first thing I found so far that's actually looked like it's done a good job. Let's take a look at these. We got, oh, they all say duels to the roses. I didn't even notice that on this side. This side, they all say the same thing. Florgali Fnefits. They didn't give any real information to all this. They just created their own fake language. It doesn't even have numbers. Huh. Did create interesting typings, though. Is there any way... art style. Let's go with a whole different type of art style. Anime / manga. Start new generation. See what it can do with that. Not exactly what I meant, but I don't hate it. Okay. All right. So if someone were to invest quite a bit of money, they could probably come up with a bunch of cool card designs. I probably want to put it in there that we change the color scheme of the border so it doesn't look just like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Maybe change the layout a little bit. But yeah, this is kind of cool. The only problem is I'd have to figure out how to separate the cards. Like if they were in a grid format like this would be super easy to work with, but if they're overlaying each other like that would make things a little harder. My let's just say my graphic design skills aren't exactly up to par. I could probably do it if I really tried using like parts of their cards, because I'd have to change all the text and everything in them too. Because like if I were to use one of these, I'd have to change the name, change the amount of stars that are in it, which again wouldn't be too hard. I can just basically copy a different part of the card, paste over that, and blend the textures together. So it wouldn't be too hard. But I don't know. All right. Is there anything else left on this game concept? Okay. Oh, okay. Let's try this. Let's try this. All right, I'm going to put in a prompt to see what happens. All right, so I went a little simpler with the prompt this time. I said I want to make a game that's entirely built off of a Yu-Gi-Oh, which I should capitalize that because that's a specific thing, and put parentheses. There we go. Yu-Gi-Oh style card game, but in a more board game format. Let's see what happens. Oh, my Yu-Gi-Oh style game. There we go. Let's see what happens. All right. What do I do here? Like, do I just enter? Is this just a text prompt? Like, what? No, I don't want to replace it with a new game idea. Put a picture there. So is this just a way to, like, make a concept for my game? Let's see what happens. Generate the code. Okay. It's doing something. Generating a bunch of code for me. Card manager, player manager, board manager, card data, UI manager, effect resolver. Okay. Huh. Okay. Okay. Ah. There it is. There it is. You need a subscription in order to generate all the scripts. Okay. That's what I figured. Well, let's check out the card manager data. I mean, I'm sure it's a bunch of gobbledygook for me, but let's take a look. Unity engine, blah, 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 blah. Public class, it's called the card manager, instance, private sets, list card, discard. So draw pile, discard pile, obviously. I'd probably rename it to graveyard. Well, we'd probably leave it discard to avoid copyright. Card create data. Draw pile, count. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean this based on what I'm reading here, it looks like I've used a lot of like the styles for Yu-Gi-Oh, like how it works in general, to actually manage the cards. Let's see here, where's the draw pile, here it is. Okay, if card drawn, invoke draw card. Okay. Yeah. I mean it's basic code for how it works, but I've tried to learn programming and I've just never been able to do it. And I really wish you could see a little bit more of this, because this actually looks like it'd be pretty useful. Huh. You have to have at least an indie level membership, too. $15 a month. Damn. See, I couldn't justify paying $15 a month if I don't think I could actually create a game with this. But, I mean, the ideas for it are pretty cool. I could use the concepts that I had from the image generators along with the actual programming to actually create pretty cool concepts. But I don't know if I can actually use it. So let's check out another program. Okay, here we go. We have another one. This one is called Rosebud AI. Build games at the speed of thought. Let's see what happens. Let's make GTA 5. Make a 2D platformer. I'd like to work on a shaders. Okay, let's just do what we've been doing in the other ones and go, I want to make a game that is very similar to an old Yu-Gi-Oh game. Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh game called Yugioh. Duelist of the Roses. Let's see what it does. And it wants me to sign it. Hold on. Alright, let's see what happens. Holy shit, they actually had information to base it off of. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, this is already quite impressive. Okay. I mean, it's very basic so far. Let's go ahead and apply. Alright. We'll screen this. Alright, so if I were to place dragging out, I can move it around and stuff. Okay, so there's a lot you'd have to build on this, but this is the most we've seen so far. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, we'd have to add art to the cards, but this is a good placeholder. Can't put it back in your inventory, obviously. Can't do much with it yet because there's no enemies, there's no nothing. Okay. And I love how it just called it a clone. That's pretty cool. Alright. Alright. Let's see what we can do. Let's start off by... Let's add an opponent. I'd like to add an enemy, since apparently I can't spell. Hold on. Alright, I gave her a prompt. Let's add more features from the actual game. Let's see what happens. Okay, we have a little bit more here. I can't seem to get it to let me place out a piece. And I'm realizing that there's not a space. Let us... I want to make this look more three-dimensional, but for now we'll stick with this. Let's go... Let's start by making the grid bigger. Let's make it a 16 by 16 grid using square spaces. And let's add some texture to the spaces. And make them each and make different types of spaces, such as different terrain, like mountains, oceans, plains, and make it so the monsters can gain a debuff, gain a buff, not a debuff. Fucking type. based on their typing. Let's see what it can do here. All right. Okay, now let's look at this. All right, full screen that. All right, so if I were to place my monster out, okay, let's apply that, which it already did, and it added different typings. Okay, dragon, a winged creature, warrior, warrior type, mage, spellcaster. Okay, let's give some identity to our cards. Give them actual names. Let's also increase our hand size to 7 cards. I know Duels of the Roses was originally 5, but let's see what happens. And let's make at least, I don't know, 80 different cards with unique types, attack stats, defense stats, special abilities, and let's also create a ledger on the side that tells us which colors on the map represent friggin' type. Represent what typings. Alright. Enter. Let's see what it can do here. Alright, this one looks like it's going to take a while because it's actually generating different cards for us to use. We've got Winged Beast cards. And now it's using actual names from Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, we may have to use something to change these. Some of the best cards, though. Silver Fang. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't generate valid code. Please try to simplify your prompt. Click clear memory and try again. Ask me to clean up your code. Clean up the code. I wondered if it just couldn't handle making that many types of cards. Okay, it's creating our actual typings now, which is good. I love how easily you can fix problems, too. Alright, so I went ahead and added in a little bit of detail to try to get the movement spaces to work a little bit better. So for one, I'm having them add a leader style card that sits on the board. I'm also going to have them change the number of number of spaces on the board from 16x16 to 15 by 15, so there is a center space. Alright, let's see what it can do with this. This might take a few fixes. Hold on. Okay, I've been messing around with it for a little bit now, so let's see what happens. So let's move my leader. We'll place out our warrior right here. It ended my turn without asking me, even though I told it to only let me do it. The CPU's thinking. Honestly, guys, this is the most progress I've ever made with making my own video game, to be honest, because I couldn't even get any assets made. Like, I overthought everything, and I didn't have anyone to bounce ideas off of, anyone to work with. It was a headache. Doing it this way, honestly, makes it feel easier, but at the same time, it feels like it's hard to get my point across to the AI, what I'm wanting to accomplish. And it may be a limitation of the software, too. It may only be able to do certain things. Obviously, the CPU is broken. It's not working. I just had it add the CPU. By the way, I spent forever just trying to get the leader part to pop up successfully so that way I could actually read it. And even then, pain in the butt. In that real quick. Alright, well, I think we're going to call it there. Let me double... There's a couple things I want to look at before we end this video, but give me just a second. Alright, so I wanted to check out Google's AI. Can apparently make you a custom 2D video game, but like everything I find is just about what it is. It isn't about where it is. I'm assuming you have to have specific privileges to get into these, so I guess I just don't have access. And apparently there's a lot of programs we could use. If anybody has any suggestions in the comments for different programs I should check out, I'm a very low-level game developer. Like, I'm talking can't even finish a game level. So I need as much help as I can get as far as making a game. I'd love to recreate Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels of the Roses in a modern day era. That's been a goal of mine ever since I got into trying to make my own games. And apparently these programs can help. Like, you can train an AI in my art style, which sounds pretty cool. Generate up to 16 images per batch, which is definitely helpful. Game precision over a composition of your AI crafted visuals. See, this sounds awesome, but it looks like it just generates images. It doesn't actually generate a whole lot else. I do not know, to be honest. So, take your control now, start, sign in. Alright, so apparently you can make models in this, so this could work for something, but it feels like it's all a bunch of separate pieces that I'd have to piece together, which is not a big issue. Like, apparently this can make 3D models of any image you give it. This can apparently make textures for you, which all this sounds awesome. But still feels like I'd have to have a lot of skills in Unreal or Unity or whatever program it is I'm going to use. And I do have a little bit of skills in each one of them because I spent 6 months trying to learn these programs. I even made some pretty cool stuff, but nothing I'm willing to write home about. Um, I mean, this is cool. I'll mess around with it. I think we'll do another video of this if you guys enjoyed this, and we'll just create a whole series on just messing around making video games using AI, because that just sounds like fun. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell down below to let you know when I upload videos to YouTube. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below. I want to hear from you guys. I'm tired of like talking going on deaf ears. It's sad. But if you guys enjoyed the video, like I said, be sure to follow for more. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'll see you guys later. Bye!